Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Now I see the funny side. Now I'm always smiling. A little fight in you. I like that.
And you're gonna love me. Drop the gun.
Hello, I've got my Batman hat today, and I got my Batman shirt. Put that down there. First thing I'm going to do for you is I'm going to work out some homework problems for you that I thought might be a little more difficult. So let's do the first one here. I'm going to simplify, so I factor the top, and I'm looking for two things: multiply to give -4, and add to give +3. So I think +4 minus 1. Now on the bottom I will factor out a -1, and I can rewrite that as x minus 1. That's factoring out a negative. And then the x minus 1's cancel. The negative comes out in front of everything, and then I have x plus 4 still in parentheses because this negative is in front of everything, so I'm going to distribute that. Okay? So then I get -x minus 4. One thing I want to point out to you here when I move the negative out in front, just remember anytime you have a fraction, like if I have 1/2 and I put a negative in the denominator, that is the same thing as if I put it in the numerator instead, or I could put the negative out in front of both. So that's how I was able to move that negative out in front, and I hope that was helpful to you. Okay, another problem that I would like to do for you is problem 6 on the homework. I'm going to, whoa, that's really bad. Let me redraw that. I'm going to rewrite the first fraction. Actually, I'm going to write the first fraction just the way it is, because I can't really do much with that. Now the second one, that's not very good either. Okay, that's much better. The second one, I can factor out a -12 out of the bottom. And I need to do that because if you look at what you have up here, you have the x first and then subtracting a number. And here I've got a number and then I'm subtracting x. So I'm kind of planning ahead a little bit and seeing that the order needs to be addressed here. So I put -12 out in front. 12 divided by -12, I get -1. -12x divided by -12, I get x. Cancel, cancel. The 2 here cancels with the 6 there. I get 3 left over. 3 cancels with the 12. I have 1 and 4. And on the top, when I multiply everything out, I get 1. On the bottom, -x times -4 is 4x. And I'm pretty happy about how that turned out, and I hope you are too. Well, I hope you guys are excited about this next homework problem as I am. I have a division problem, so I'm going to rewrite it out horizontally. First of all, remember the old saying that I made up: when the fractions say divide, invert the second and multiply. I made that up, so if you ever hear anybody else saying it, make sure you let me know, because I'm probably going to write a book about it, and maybe I'll have to sue them or something. I don't know. Okay, so anyhow, I wrote this horizontally and I flipped the bottom. And now I'm going to start factoring. So I see that I have a 4 minus x, and normally I see that my variables come first. I mean, they don't have to come first, but normally they have been. So I'm going to plan ahead and assume that they're supposed to come first in this problem too. So I'm going to factor out a negative, and then I can write x minus 4. And then here I have, let's see, I have x plus 4, x minus 4, because that's the difference between two squares. And down here I can factor out a 2, and I will get 4 plus x, which I'll write as x plus 4. Now remember, for addition, you can switch the order without having to do anything. You don't want to like put a negative out in front like I did on the top, because addition is much more forgiving and the order doesn't matter. Okay, and then I have 6x down here. Cancel, cancel, and actually it looks like that's all there is to cancel. So I have a negative x minus 4 times x minus 4, which you could write as x minus 4 quantity squared. And then on the bottom, 2 times 6 is 12x, and that's all I have to do. You could FOIL that out if you wanted to, but for this problem, since I'm not combining with anything else, and it's already a binomial squared, that's kind of nice, I'm just going to leave it. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Alright, let's do another division problem. This one is going to be kind of challenging because the factoring will be a little less straightforward than it has been. So let me write it horizontally. So 2x squared plus 7x plus 3 over 4x squared minus 1 times, and then you flip the bottom fraction. So you get 4x squared minus 4x plus 1 over 2x squared plus 5x minus 3. And now it's time to factor. Let me do this off to the side, and I'll show you how to factor one of these using the ACD method, because I've got a number in front of the x squared, so that kind of makes it difficult. So I have 2x squared plus 7x plus 3. And using the ACD method, the first step is to multiply a times c. And in this case, I get 2 times 3, or 6. Step 2, I need two things that multiply to give 6 that I just found, and add to give my middle term, which is 7. I think 6 times 1 will work, because 6 plus 1 is 7. Third step, go ahead and take those two numbers that you just found and rewrite the problem, but split up the middle into those two numbers you just found. Now, it doesn't matter which one you write first, as long as you chose the correct numbers. So now I'm going to factor out a 2x and get x plus 3. And here you just factor out a 1 and you get x plus 3. X plus 3's come out in front, and the leftover stuff is 2x plus 1. Okay, so that's how we factor this part here. So I have x plus 3 times 2x plus 1. Now, I'm going to try pure trial and error to factor some of the other ones here, I think. Actually, the one down here, 4x squared minus 1, there's no trial and error involved there because that's a difference between two squares. Both things are square rootable, and I'm subtracting, so I square root, I get 2x, 2x, square root the last term, you get 1, 1, plus, minus. Okay, now these two, this top one is actually a perfect square trinomial, because if you square root the front term, square root the last term, and multiply by 2, you get the middle. So that is a perfect square trinomial. I can write it as 2x minus 1 times 2x minus 1, or you would write 2x minus 1 squared. I'm going to actually, whoops, I don't want to write both though. I'm going to actually write it out because I'm going to be crossing things out anyhow. Let me get rid of that squared there. Okay, go away, go away, go away, go away. Doesn't want to go away. Okay, there, it went away. Alright, so now on the bottom here, I have to use ACD method because it's not going to be a perfect square trinomial. However, I'm going to try pure trial and error. I know the front terms have to multiply to give 2x, and I know the back term has to multiply to give negative 3. Now that gives me quite a few choices. However, because I see 2x plus 1 and 2x minus 1 up here, I'm going to guess that maybe these factors down here, whoever set up the problem, wanted some things to cancel. So I'm going to guess that this is going to be a plus 3 here and a minus 1 there because I see those factors up above. Now, in real life, that may not be true. So, you know, later on when you guys get out of school and you're on your own and you're factoring things all the time, like I know you will be, maybe you're not going to be able to just look at the other parts of the problem to see how to factor it. But here I just kind of knew whoever made the problem, maybe they wanted things to cancel. So boom, 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 boom. Well, I guess I could double check that. Let's see, 2 times 3 is 6. And then here I have -1, positive 6 minus 1. Okay, I get 5. So it worked. So now let me get back to crossing out, because that's my favorite thing anyhow. Cross out, cross out, cross out, cross out. Awesome. Everything crossed out, and I get 1. And I'm pretty happy about that, because I think that's kind of neat.